That's what I want. So may I know your background? Do you guys are still working?
Secondary school.
Secondary school. Secondary school. Good. Oh, which industry? You're planning to have a master degree.
Yeah.
I was hopefully you guys will get the information that you want to have. And also, by the way, I just came from the US. So currently, well, my body time is kind of in the midnight. So hopefully I will be awake. Yes. So I just came back this morning, and it's like, to be honest, I feel very sleepy now. Yeah. And so our program is about operations management, and my name is Kai. I'm currently the director of this program, and well, it's good to know that you guys from secondary school are interested in this program, and uh, well, basically. Okay, control by myself. Okay, good. So, but the first question is, what is operations management? Right. So, from the name, we can tell that we do not focus on one specific industry. So we essentially cover all possible industries that ask for the efficiency and effectiveness of operations. So when we say operations, essentially we try to consider the entire process from the requirements to the planning, resource planning, until strategy production control. So we try to improve the efficiency from the input of the entire system to the output. So we try to improve the corresponding the cost effectiveness and also the operational efficiency, so that we eventually have like the corresponding to minimize the cost or maximize the efficiency. Okay, so that's the basic idea of operations management, and there are a lot of challenges that we try to solve in nowadays. So for instance, we have many questions that we are considering in the field of operations management, like how we can ensure the operational resilience and how we can manage the corresponding risks. So, well, this is a very important nowadays. We call it resilience because the word is full of like the dynamics and the challenges, right? So specifically nowadays we see the world is already divided. Okay, so this is kind of the biggest feeling for me when I travel around. It's like the entire world is divided in terms of politics, in terms of the operations. So that is a very challenging for us, like how we can manage like the entire operational process, right? From how we can procure the materials from one country and produce the corresponding products in another country, right? So that's a resilience problem. And another one is because the operational systems are interdependent, and we need the coordination between different components. So that is how we can manage interdependent operational systems. And also we see a lot of new technologies adopted and integrated. So how we can incorporate those new technologies like the blockchain and also like the 5G technologies to improve the efficiency of operations, right? And how we can balance the efficiency with the flexibility and agility. and also how we can achieve the data-driven and the smart operations. So we have a lot of data available nowadays in those operational systems, and how we can make use of them, right, to improve the efficiency, and also eventually it is touchable. So how we can ensure the high quality operations. So there are many examples that we are studying, and also we will possibly cover in the courses. So for instance, supply chain risk management is one of the central questions that we always consider. So no matter in which operational system, so we always ask, well, how the supply should be look like, and how the demand should be formulated. So eventually, we will try to balance the supply and the demand. And we always see the supply. Nowadays, the supply is uncertain, right? So we do not know how those suppliers may be disrupted by certain conditions, like by the politics, right? And also by some national events like the disasters, and how those demand should be managed, right? Demand is always uncertain. So how we can mitigate the supply and demand imbalance by using different tools, like how we can how we can diversify the supply by providing different products, and how we can use some tools like the pricing tools to shift the demand, right? So that once we improve the price, or like the lower down the price, how the demand will be formulated. So this is one of the questions that we are considering. And another question that we may also consider is the interdependency between the operations with other systems, like the marketing, right? So this is one of the examples that we always see, like the airline. Okay, so the airline needs to operate and also try to do the marketing when we buy the tickets, and we may also try to cancel the tickets when we have other schedules. So when you try to cancel tickets, we may study like the optimal design of the credit refund policy. So it's like do we need to refund you the cash, or refund you the points, or like the points of the airline, right? And also, can we like combine the credit refund policy or cash refund policy, right? So this is the question related to the marketing, as well as we need to maintain the efficient operation of the airline. Okay, so that's we call it interface between the operations and the marketing, and also the interface between the operations and finance. So this is again the dependency between the operations and finance. For instance, nowadays we have a lot of financial tools for those companies to ensure the efficiency of the operations. So for instance, we can, for a new company, they can use like the crowdfunding versus the bank financing, right? So that they can gain enough funds in the very beginning stage of the company operations. So then we can study like what is the difference between the crowdfunding and the bank financing when we need to have those funding to support the operations, right? And also with the data fit into the operations systems. So no matter what kind of operation system, essentially once you are operating the system, you have the data generated along the time period. So how we can make use of the data nowadays? For instance, like the one of the one of the field that we may consider is like the pricing. So again, the pricing tool is very important to maintain the demand, to manage the demand, right? If you feel that once you see the demand is high, right, once you see the price is high, your demand will be lower, right? Because you feel that it's too expensive and you will not try to buy it. So we may use the demand data and the pricing data to dynamically adjust the price so that we can manage the demand. So we can use like the sensor demands of the sales. Okay? We can make use of the sales data in different, for instance, like the supermarkets, right, or online market store. so that we can try to dynamically adjust the price to see how the demand will be look like. And eventually we can also try to make the personalized decision makings. Like we may use the data of each individual customer online, and then so that we can suggest different products, right, to different customers online. So we can learn from the data like the demand price function. Right? So it's like we can see what is the relationship between the price raise the demand, right? This is what we can learn from the data. Right. So once we have the data driven demand price function, then we can continue to make our decision. So that's the decision eventually will be like the pricing decision, right? So that we can manage the demand. And another operations problem that we are considering, for instance, in the smart city, that we have a lot of electric vehicles integrating into our power grid, right? So we emphasize the sustainability, so that eventually we will have the low carbon emission. So then how we can achieve that, like the low carbon emission goal, by integrating the power grid with the electrical vehicles, as well as other renewable technologies like the solar panel and also energy storage, right? So this is how we can operate the entire system by using some technologies like the online learning with the optimization for large-scale operations. So these are some examples for the operations management. You can see from the basic supply chain management to the interdependency between the operations with the marketing, with the finance, and also to the data-driven optimization and smart operations. So essentially, we are considering the operations management issues across all the possible industry, including the service and the manufacturing, as well as the corresponding the private and the public sectors. So that's the basic goal of operations management. So we are trying to use those quantitative technologies as well as some other tools like e-commerce, information technology, quality management, and again eventually try to improve the efficiency of the entire operations system. So we try to cover all the disciplines, okay, and we also try to invite the applicants from all different industries with different backgrounds, so that we can so that everyone eventually can gain the corresponding the training in operations management. Okay. So that means we do not restrict ourselves to like the specific industries. Okay. So obviously we will need to solve those business problems, and it's because operations management essentially covers a lot of disciplines. So we try to focus ourselves into these three streams. Okay. So this is what we focus. The first one is the operations analytics. So for instance, those are like the data-driven operations, right? And also the second one is the quality management, right? So because this is one of the targets of operations management, because eventually we will try to improve the quality. And the third one is the operations strategy, obviously. So strategy is also one of the steps of the entire operations management. Okay. So this is essentially one of the unique characteristics of the program in our department. So we have these three streams. Every students can essentially graduate from one of these three streams. So this is the basic idea. And I believe you guys know, like the PolyU essentially always saying that we are kind of a high-ranking university and a high-ranking like department, and specifically for operations management. Okay, so to be honest, we are essentially very strong in terms of the research and teaching. For instance, like in this wide ranking of business school based on the research. So if we only look at operations management, essentially we are essentially the number one in China area, and also number two in Asia, right after National University of Singapore. So this is how we look at this operations management field. Okay, so we have a lot of academic stuff. Okay, so they are essentially from the prestigious institutions like the MIT, Stanford, and Cambridge, Columbia. And I want to emphasize that we essentially have many professors essentially have been worked in industry for many years. So for instance, one of our we're essentially like the one of our professors who are managing this, who used to manage this Six Sigma Institute before. And our graduates, if you have completed these courses, essentially you will gain the corresponding certificate from this institute. For instance, once you completed this course, you got this green belt, and once you completed these three courses, you get this black belt. So do you guys know this institute? No. So this is essentially one of the most famous institutes in quality management. That's I believe you may heard about like the six sigma. So that is one of the criteria for the quality management. And we have already got many graduates since around like the early 2000 because our program has been established for more than like the 20 years. So this is one of the earliest program in our department. So we used to invite only those local students to join us, but nowadays essentially we extend our invitation to the students around the world. Okay, so including local Hong Kong and also like the mainland Macau and other overseas universities. Okay, so if you all well, so that's we have already aggregated a lot of alumni in these regions and in different industry sectors. And also, if you want to go to like the pursuit of PhD, I think that is also one of the good options. So, well, like these two essentially are two alumni that graduated in the past. It should be in the past summer. So where they emphasize the diversity of our courses, and also to emphasize the importance of the theoretical and the practical knowledge that we provide from our program. And I think these are the routine requirements that we need to have, like you need to, for instance, a bachelor degree, or if you have been worked in industry for several years, and I think that's also good enough to apply our program. If you have like around 3 years manager capacity, and then you can also apply. So that's very standard. Okay, very standard. And also very standard English requirements. Okay, like the if you're not a native English speaker, or you are not graduating from the institutes with English as the medium of instruction, you need to have those like the TOEFL and ISO English requirements. Okay, and this is essentially the student background that we have in the most recent cohort. So like those students are just graduating just joining us in the summer. So you can see essentially we try to diversify our students in different sectors, and they also used to be working as in different roles in industry. And so, for instance, we see those like the students from like different industry like the accounting, advertising, and banking and finance, kind of communication. So because basically every industry rely on the operations management, right? So, and also it is good for the students so that they can interact with these students from different backgrounds. And this is some samples that we have, like in the pool of the students in this cohort, 2023 and 24. So essentially, they are from different regions, including mainland China, Hong Kong, Macau, and overseas. So if you join us as a full-time student, essentially you can complete it within 1.5 years. Obviously, most of some of those local students they will join us as part-time students. So if you're a part-time student, essentially you take around 2.5 years. So well, but this is essentially the program duration, official duration. So if you complete it earlier, okay, by taking more subjects in a semester, that's also possible. So you can take more courses and then graduate, for instance, in 1 year as a full-time student. So that's also fine. In total, you need to take 30 credits. Okay, so that means it's around like 10 subjects, or like the 8 subjects plus 1 project with 6 credits. 6 credits. That's the basic program details. And so if you eventually want to get a Master of Science, and then again you need to have to take 4 compulsory subjects, 3 specialized subjects, 1 elective, and 2 free elective. So, but in case that you didn't take all of them, okay, you take partial, you can also get a postgraduate diploma. So we do see some students, okay, eventually graduate from this channel, okay, but most of the students were from here, okay. So that's most of the time. And so you can see from the compulsory subjects we cover different disciplines, including accounting, operation, international operations, and also the innovation. So this is some courses like that the students are taking now. Okay, so those compulsory subjects, and I think later on we have 2 students here. Okay, later on I think they may tell us, will tell you guys a little bit more about the experience. And again, for every stream, okay, so essentially, again, every student will graduate from one of these 3 streams. Now, the first one is analytics. So we will try to make sure everyone, okay, if from this stream will have the corresponding analytic skills, like the ERP, enterprise resource and planning, and the business analytics, and e-commerce. Okay, so this is essentially the most recent technologies that we need to have. And obviously, quality management rely on these courses like the total quality management, Six Sigma, right, and the statistical control. Right? So this is the very important tools that we need to have. And for the stream of operations strategy, obviously we consider like the strategic management. So this is very important. And the risk management and the lean thinking and the practice. So these are we can see very diversified courses and very specialized. So that's why we call it specialized subjects for every stream. Okay, and well, you are allowed to choose one of these 5 restricted elective subjects. Well, they are important in operations. Supply chain management. So project management and statistical for management, organization, supply development. So obviously, they're very important. And you can take at least 1, okay? At least 1. If you take more than 1, well, they will be considered as free elective subjects. So that's, and we have a lot of free elective subjects for you guys to choose. So, including like those marketing even, and even if you are good at, if you want to learn like those Python tools, this is very important, like for the data-driven operations, like the coding for management, right? And also, again, if you want to do some projects, okay, with supervisors, and then essentially you can take this as 6 credit projects, right? So, well, you're also allowed to take the courses from the FB Common Pool. Okay. FB Common Pool means Faculty of Management Common Pool. So that's like a common pool among the entire the business school. Okay, business school. So you can take at least, I guess you can take at least or at least one. Okay, but up to one courses from the common pool. And basically you follow this as like you take the compulsory subjects plus other subjects, okay, for every semester. So, if you have already got some like the postgraduate experience before, and then you can also transfer the corresponding credits to complete our program as a little bit earlier. So you can apply the credit transfer. And but this is tuition fee. I think this is the most updated one nowadays. And if you're good enough, and then you can also apply this scholarship scheme. Well, even if you do not apply, I think we will also try to invite you to compete at this scholarship scheme. And because basically it's merit based. So that means if you're good enough and outstanding, and then you will be given this scholarship, which is 50,000 for one recipient. So, and if you are local candidate applicants and you are holding like the Hong Kong permanent residency, and then you can also apply this continuing education fund, just like the ones you take our courses, like the managing innovation and statistical for management. Okay, for instance, these are courses in all in our program. Okay? Just like you can apply partial tuition fee reimbursement from the government. So this is obviously you need to satisfy certain requirements, like for local students, and you attend most of the courses, right? And I have a very good score, and then you can get the reimbursement. So, well, for more information, essentially, you can also try to check our website, and then you can also check the online application website here. So I am the director, and we also have a deputy program director. Okay, so you can also contact us, and also you can contact our colleague for the admin issues. Okay, so I think perfect timing. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's all. And any questions from you guys? So thank you very much. And I think next one, yeah, well, next we will invite our current students to share the experience a little bit with you guys.